Happy Wednesday. Before I opened my mouth, I just had to look and make sure I wasn't muted. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday stream. I'm actually streaming a little bit earlier than usual today because I'm trying to puzzle piece this in the middle of other things I have to get done today. But I'm definitely going to go to the shop probably right after this stream, because there's quite a few books that I saw that are coming out that are either in my box or I want to pick up off the rack. So I'm pretty excited. It's going to be a full pickup at the store. But I also have stuff that, other stuff like other unboxings that I want to get to today. And I was like, how am I going to fit this all in? And then, like I said, there's a couple scheduling things that I got to work around my schedule of streaming and stuff around. So I will go to the store today, but I was thinking I might stream twice today. Who knows if I can do this stream. I've got 2 unboxings today. If I do this stream, go to the store, pick up my stuff, and then maybe come back and stream again. I don't know. I don't want to promise anything. That would be kind of nuts, and I might be exhausted after that. But like I said, there are quite a few things that are coming out today that I'm pretty stoked about to see, and it would be worth sharing. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes now and how adventurous I feel later. These are all my big dreams when I wake up in the morning, but then come middle of the day, I'm like, ugh. So how are you guys doing? Here we go. First in chat, Mark's Music Obsession was there, helping me check out my audio levels and all that kind of jazz. Yeah, I just noticed, I don't know if it was me noticing it or not. I was just trying to make sure that whatever videos that I play before the stream, that they're somewhat the right levels. You would think that they would be figured out by now, but then I felt like maybe the second video was a little louder. I don't know. But thanks, Mark, for giving me some feedback on that. I just want to make sure it's a pleasant experience. And like I said in the chat, I'm not blowing out people's ears, Leroy Jenkins style. And Comrade Sammy's here. Okay, wait. Hang on, Comrade Sammy. I have something to share specifically with you, but let's see what everybody else is saying first, and then we'll get to it. Mark's Music Obsession says, it seems like a good level. Getting your mic and the videos the same level is the key. Yeah, for sure. I don't want anybody having to be like, oh, that's too loud, and then, oh, it's too quiet, or what is he saying? So there's a lot of moving parts there. But hopefully, I mean, I think the cool thing with Ecamm, which is the program that I use to stream, it gives you a lot of modularity, or a lot of, you can customize down to like super details, which is great. Like it can really, it's really powerful in that sense. But on the other sense, or the other side, you can get lost in all those details and forget to check all the boxes and make sure everything is kind of tied together. I feel like at the very few times that I've tried using, like a lot of people use StreamYard, that's a little bit more set up to be dummy proof. I know, like when you're sharing your screen or you're like interviewing people or having more people on stream, like it's pretty, dummy proof. With Ecamm, it's a lot more powerful, a lot better quality in my opinion, but you do have all these details that you have to like make sure you get right. So it's a give or take. I'm going for the more customizability, but then you get boomer moments like I normally do. Comrade Sammy says, Rocky, I swear I will unsubscribe if you play. Okay, I don't want to risk that. That's not worth it to me. Everything up to that point is not worth it to me. So I won't do that to you. Maybe I'll just play it really quickly when I don't see you around. And then, yeah. But, oh, Emo Trash, what's up, Emo Trash? So one thing I did realize when I was deciding to stream a little bit earlier today, I was like, is there any other people streaming at the same time? Is it going to like cut into the audience? And I did notice that Gothix was streaming. I don't know if she normally does Wednesday mornings. I'm not a diehard follower of all her streams, but I was like, oh shoot, I know that John's usually in her streams, and Emo Trash, Comrade Sammy, quite a number of you guys follow Gothix and participate in her chat. So I was like, oh shoot, am I gonna lose out on those guys? But anyway, you guys are here, so thank you for showing. Mark's Music Obsession says that would be great. Are you talking about if I stream oh, here we go. If I streamed what? If I stream twice, what's up, Marty? Hey, everybody, say hello to Marty. This is my buddy Marty, who I stream with sometimes, who I haven't streamed with in a long, long time. We are due up, Marty. I know where you are, but it's good to see you pop in and say hey in the chat. That's Marty the firefighter. So the cool thing is this past weekend, I actually visited Marty at his station, and it was so fun. It was amazing. I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced or visited a fire station before. I have never, not even as a kid, have I ever visited a fire station. But I felt like a 7-year-old boy in that place. It was like so cool. He showed me like the truck and the equipment, and they have the like fire pole that you slide down, and I actually risked it and slid down it once. I was afraid I was gonna like break my back because I'm not that young or adventurous anymore, but it was fun. I admit it was fun. And all of Marty's coworkers were incredibly nice, incredibly welcoming. And they totally spoiled me silly, where like they let me like get in the truck and like extend the ladder and ride in the back, the little like back cab. Oh wait, should I be saying that? Was that illegal? Whoops. But it was fun. It was really awesome. I had such a good time, and Marty really made that happen. So kudos to that man, to my brother Marty, and I hope to stream with him soon. But yeah, thanks for popping in, man. You're hilarious. Emo Trash says, oh yeah, I just remembered, apparently your streams have what? Infiltrated my dreams? What does that mean? What does my stream in somebody's dream look like? That's interesting. All right, cool. I'll take that as a positive. I don't know. Comrade Sammy says, Marty Lum, good to see you. When your next stream when's our next stream gonna be? I gotta find the right time, right comic. I think I had mentioned to you guys that I had gotten contact with this one person who I really wanted to interview in my stream, and we did get in contact. He doesn't live in America, he lives in another country, so trying to coordinate schedules, which was a little difficult. And then he wrote me back recently and said, he's got a lot of personal things that he's wrestling with his mother-in-law as far as her health. So we had to delay it a little bit, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, he's got to take care of what he's got to take care of. But we are planning it hopefully soon in the future. I'm just going to, let him dictate when his schedule frees up. But he's really interested in doing it. So then I reached out to another artist just this morning who would be awesome to have. It's another artist that I've worked with in the past, but haven't been in touch with him in a long time. And he's a comic book artist, pro comic book artist, and he's worked on some very, very amazing titles. So I hope he writes back to me and is willing to do it, because that would be amazing. But yeah, I would love to get more interviews on this stream. It's a totally different chemistry and dynamic versus me just talking randomly and just talking all the time. It's great to have other people to interact with. So yeah, that's in the works, that's in the plans, but it does take some time. Appreciate you guys' patience. Comrade Sammy says, Emo Trash sounds more like a nightmare to me. yeah, it could be that way. All right, okay, wait. Hang on a second. I'm going to get through this. Comrade Sammy, we're getting to the time. We are going to get to the time here. Let's see. Listen, I don't know how it happened. First half of my dream was me on some crazy hike, and then the end of it was Rocky streaming and me explaining that the entire journey to him in the chat. Maybe it's happening right now. Maybe you are asleep and this is a dream. Huh? Sounds very similar to what this is really meta here. So, did you take a hike? This is really crazy, but cool. Hopefully, yeah, like Comrade Sammy, hope it wasn't a nightmare, but yeah. John is here. John, it's okay, Rocky. Gothic's chat shadow blocked me. Being a mod here, I can chat. Wait, what? You got blocked on Gothic's chat? John, are you stirring up some controversy? What is going on? I can't imagine you doing anything that would get you blocked. That sucks. They don't know what they're losing out on. Let's go on there right now. We should all like raid her chat and be like, hey, let free John. Hashtag free John. That sounds crazy. Emo Trash said John should be joining soon. Oh, that stinks. Okay, got you. Here's John. All right. Well, we'll never block you here, John. So you are free to chat as you will. John saying hey to Marty. Feeling a little bad for abandoning Gothics, but not terrible. I mean, if they ban you, that kind of, or block you, that's sucky. Or were you really, or maybe you were starting trouble. More Marty, a Marty party. Wow, that is I'm writing that down. Marty party. What do you think, Marty? Marty party, I love that. Oh, there was another thing I wrote down here. My apologies to MMO. I forgot to check the closed captioning. So I wrote myself a note, check closed captioning for MMO, MOM. Because I've been meaning to do that. And I had checked it, like I'd mentioned last time, that there was an option for live captioning, but I didn't go more in depth, like search on Google to see what that really means. But yeah, I wrote myself a note, and now I wrote down Marty Party because that is amazing. Thank you, John. Copyright, John. Comrade Sammy did not show up in Gothic. Oh, she streamed yesterday too. Awesome one. Awesome one's gonna come moseying in here, I'm assuming. Emo Trash says the only difference between your normal streams and the dream stream. That's another good name. The dream stream. I love it. This is real time creativity right here. The dream stream is that somehow is a voice chat between you and I, and chat was just there like, okay. Voice chat, huh? That's cool. I always wonder, like, one of the streams that I watch somewhat regularly is a local sports channel. And they also, they're live on the radio, and then they stream on, like, Twitch and YouTube and all that. So I watch the YouTube stream. And it's cool, you know, because it's like the voices that you hear from the radio, you see them in person there. And you see their little interactions with each other, the visual interactions with each other. And then they'll get phone calls in. And I know that's through the like radio system of like getting callers in. But I was like, there must be a way that people do it for YouTube where they can get not necessarily like interview pop-ups, which I know you can do. But like, I wonder if you could do it with audio. Maybe it's the same way. But that would be kind of cool. Like dial this number or click on this link and you put it up on the screen, and then people who are watching your live stream could like call in or click in and then talk, audio talk. That'd be kind of neat. Then I get to hear what you guys sound like. You wouldn't always have to hear me. That would be awesome. Or you guys might like hiding in anonymity. That's true too. Emotress says, but I felt you should know. LMAO, thanks for haunting my sleep. I'll choose to be more flattered than creeped. Okay. All right. So speaking of which, wow, you guys are chatting. Oh, and one more guy popped in. I'm going to catch up on the rest of the chat, but I do have to acknowledge Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 is here. What's up, dude? Ooh, one of the things I'm going to be opening up today is from France. I've got this like addiction to stuff arriving from France, as you guys know. So glad you're here to experience it. All right. Comrade Sammy, are you ready? This is not Leroy Jenkins. Are you ready? This is for you. I was just prepping this. Here we go. You ready? Here we go. Huh? Do you hear that? I worked on a chat ninja effect. How's that work for you? So, when you show up in chat, we'll drop a couple of these. I thought like the ninja part, the poof disappearing. What do you think? Ta-da! And I've got to locate my list because last time, well, several streams ago, I did make a list. Let me look. There you go. I thought I made a list of like different ideas for everybody else. And I definitely would love to do that for people. It was fun. I mean, it was really easy to do something like that. I could have sworn I made a list of like different suggestions for people. Did I? I know I did. I could have sworn I wrote like different things. Like I can hear one for like Mr. Monkey Boy. John, you'd be a tough one. Emo Trash. I could figure out something for Emo Trash. Dagnammit, where is that list? I'll have to look. Maybe in some of my other Sketchpad. Yeah, Chat Ninja. There we go. Mark's Music Obsession. I think I could figure out one for you, maybe, sir. So yeah, we'll start working on it. We'll start working on it. It'd be fun to have like different sound effects for people in the chat. But I know we've always been kind of toying with that one or talking about it, teasing that one. And I was like, I got to do it. I got to make it. So I just finished that this morning. All right, let's see. Let me catch up here and then we will get to some of the unboxings. Excuse me. Oh, and thanks for those of you that joined in the zoo sketching. That was really fun. I went back and watched it and I could see where the like signal was dropping out. I'm kind of bummed that I don't know if it's my cell service carrier. I don't think so. I think it's just in general that area of the zoo or the zoo where it's located is really close to the ocean in San Francisco. And so I don't think they set up many cell phone tower signals around there. But you would think the zoo would have, would be better equipped for cell signal. But watching back that stream, I could see like when you guys were saying, oh, you're dropping out or whatever. And I could see like the picture kind of pixelating more and more when I watched it back, the recorded version. So yeah, I mean, it seemed like I was getting the best picture around the penguins, which is kind of dead center in the zoo. I wish we could have gotten better picture around the bears. I mean, we saw some stuff. There was some good picture around the wolves, I think so. Lobito, the wolves there. But yeah, and then when I was showing the pictures of my drawings, it was really crappy. Well, I mean, at the very end when I was showing it, what I had drawn. So you guys can see, I can show you clearer pictures of what I drew when I was there with you guys. But you guys were very nice to have you there, very nice to comment, and it was fun. It was fun walking around and just like doing that and trying that and seeing how it works. I'll do that again for sure. I actually went to the zoo, I think it was like a day or 2 days again after I did it. live with you guys because I had a friend of mine who was with us, family friend, and she wanted to go draw at the zoo. So I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. So it was really fun. Okay, wait. I'm all confused here. I got lost. Marty saying hey to John. Rocky, it was YouTube itself, not Gothics or mods there. Oh, that banned you? That blocked you? Why? Why? What's the reason for that? That's creepy. That it can just randomly do that. Drinking coffee. I don't know. They were just kind of talking about the same stuff over again. Nothing new was really being added to the conversation. Okay, let's see. Will be great if the live closed captioning works. We appreciate your looking to it. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. I got it on my notes. I'll do that for you, Mark, because that would be cool. Hello to MMO Mom 2. Oh, Discord. Ooh, okay. That's that other territory which I don't want to venture into. I can barely keep up with YouTube, let alone add another one to track. You can do that through a Discord server. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 is in the house. Okay. Emotress says, I will personally continue to hide in the chat. I did question in the dream as well once I realized I wasn't chatting normally and you were responding to my voice. That's when it turned into a nightmare. John says, Rocky, I have no mic on this computer. That could be easily rectified. If you really wanted to talk, you could do it, John. You're kind of techie too, I know, so you could do it. He was asking for a YouTube version of the answer. Yeah, kind of. Not that people would want to call in, but I just thought, oh, that would be a neat way of interacting with chat and not always having to talk all the time. And but yeah. Mine was the old vacuum tube and power supply. Oh, yes. All right. I got to write that down. I know I have a list somewhere. I just don't know where I put it. I'm going to say MMO, vacuum tube. I mean, I guess I could also go back and watch. I don't even remember what stream that was in. When we were talking about it live in power supply. Meatballs. Nice. We know emo sounds like Hannah. Right. I'm writing that down. I'm taking requests, everybody. Mr. Monkey Boy always throwing in the groomsman. So far long ago. I love that. I love that tag though. Did I ever find my cap? I didn't. But it's okay. I have many of those water pens, but I didn't. I actually looked again when I went back to the zoo with the other friend. I was looking in the same spot. I was like, is there a cap here? But no. Deshaun Long is here. Hey, what's up, Deshaun? Welcome. I think this is the first time I've seen you here in the chat. So hello. Hope you're well. Everybody here is super friendly. Everybody say, yeah, what's up to Deshaun? It's great to see you. Great to see new faces here. Hope you're well. Hope you're excited that today is Wednesday. We're going to be talking about comics here. We're just catching up in the chat. Doing sound effects for people. This is for the chat ninja, Comrade Sammy. That's right. We're gonna milk that one a lot today. Mr. Monkey Boy says, did you see my cousin Bob? No. No. Wait, you were for reals at a zoo? Now I'm disappointed I wasn't able to tune in. Yes, I was. Go back and look at my channel. The last live stream I did before this one was zoo sketching. I did it with my phone, so the reception was spotty. But I was trying to do it in a way where I could draw and stream at the same time. So I had to like set up my camera and I had my hands in front of the camera trying to draw. It was a little clunky, but it worked. So yeah, but yeah, come by. Come watch next time. I'll do it again. It was really fun. Let me start by asking, what is a rainbow baby and where do babies come from? I know where babies come from. A rainbow baby, not so sure. Maybe it has something to do with frosted Lucky Charms. Definitely colors. I don't know. It's a good question, Deshaun. Oh, I thought we were at the zoo. We were the zoo. Kind of. Yeah, you guys are the zoo within the zoo. No, that there we go. Yeah, I agree with emo trash right there. Comrade Sammy says that soundbite made me happy. Made my day. Chat Ninja is happy. There we go. Comrade Sammy was first with a special sound. That's right. She was. But don't worry, Mark. We'll get to yours. We'll get to everybody's as we can. It's fun. It'll be fun. Discord is nice to help keep up with people and share things. Yep. Yep. I will. Just hang in there, guys, and I'll do it. I will do it. You guys are worth it and have put in so much time just hanging out with me, so I can't help but reciprocate. Rocky Streams would just turn into a large group call. That could be weird. So yeah, maybe that's a path we don't want to go down to. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming. Vacuum tube equipment. Oh, that's what Mark's doing for work or for helping people out. So that would be fitting. Here we go. Just in time. No wonder John and Emo weren't in Gothic's chat. I was just mentioning Awesome One and hello, happy Wednesday. That I did notice that Gothic's was streaming at the same time. So I know a lot of you guys go to her stream. And I was like, am I gonna lose some audience because she's doing it? And she definitely has a bigger audience than I do. But thank you for showing up. On time, all the time. Awesome One. Did we talk about what your sound effect could be? Did you hear? Like I said, I'm gonna milk this all stream. I just revealed that for Comrade Sammy. Did we mention or did we talk about what yours could be? Remind me if we did. The great derailer, emo trash. I gotta make sure I write down that adjective. Some of you guys will be easy to figure out. Like I think Mark's music obsession, obviously Comrade Sammy, but some of you guys are gonna be difficult. So it'll be fun. We all talking about mercy over justice. I don't know if that would work on this stream. I could let you guys could talk about it. That would be a great subject. I don't know how deep I could get into that with comics, but maybe. I think Gothix is definitely more equipped to do that than I am. Everybody's saying, Awesome One, hello to Awesome One Rainbow Babies. Those are just Teletubbies. Ooh, don't get me onto Teletubbies. Rainbow Baby, a leprechaun? Oh boy. This is where the chat goes. If you get an error type, no offensive stuff. If you get an error type, no offensive stuff, whatever that is, and I eventually was able to get back in. Whoa. Is that in... If you get an error type, no offensive stuff. Is that in Gothic stream? Emotress says, they come from a hill somewhere under the sun, baby. Yeah. I'm the silverback gorilla at the zoo, according to my little sister. Wow. The gorillas, that was one thing I didn't stream with you guys. I did go this last time. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. With my other friend, I was drawing the gorilla. They do have very cool gorillas. So I drew these. Whoop. Great poses that the gorilla would take. I don't know if it was a silverback gorilla. I'm not sure. It didn't seem big enough to be. Maybe it was. But yeah, it was fun. The gorilla, really crazy shapes. This is another simplification of the gorilla here. The cone head. But it had some fun poses. I'm thinking the AI or a person at YouTube error codes won out of commenting, but I've learned some stuff to get in sometimes. Oh, okay. Creepy. She'll be okay. She's already got a larger than average audience because she's over there opening a can of worms. Yeah. I'm amazed at like how I mean, that's why she's so popular, but the way that the topics that she can get into, that a lot of streamers can get into, like really philosophical topics. I just talk about comics. We can get philosophical. I just don't know how interesting that would be coming from me. The shadow part, no error reported. Everything is normal on my end, but no messages go through. I monitor YouTube chats I'm in because they've done so before. Oh, I see. Awesome One's trying to like figure out what happened to John. Interesting. Emo Trash says, I'm a derailer, so I could just be... I'm writing that down. Train sound. I like that. Train... I like that. Perfect. You guys are awesome. If you're banned, it takes a day or two to come back or be like Angela Curry and have multiple counts. Oh, man. You guys are so experienced with chat and like figuring out how to like work the system. I'm that... Sorry. I wasn't coughing that much before we started, but then I guess as I talk, cough drops galore. I'm that train from Polar Express when they're Tokyo drifting that thing across the... Yeah. That's a good one. The screeching brakes on the screeching brakes on a train. Emo, tell me how to weigh a chicken with a stick. Separate conversation. All right, cool. Well, yeah, welcome, guys. Yeah. Oh, so some of these were the sketches that I did that day. Clearer here. These are the penguin ones. Some bears. It's fun. I love sketching. I was telling my friend who I went the second time that it's just great sketching at the zoo because they move so much. Every time you're trying to like, you start trying to draw details, they're on to the next position. So you really have to just capture the gesture, and it's very freeing. Like you don't get so tight when you're drawing. Some wolf and birds. This is like, I tried to start drawing the giraffe, but the giraffe was like, nope, I'm moving. And that was all I got. More giraffes. I love the giraffes. Anyway, yeah, that was a fun experiment. And I'll try doing that more in the future. Okay, let's get into it. So that I can get to the comic book store afterwards. Selfishly. Weigh a chicken with a stick? What? Awesome One says that's Gothic's last question. Oh. Does that have to do with mercy and justice? Weigh a chicken with a stick. See? This is why I don't know if I could do philosophical questions. Mark's Music Obsession says penguins are my favorite from that stream. Yeah, they were really fun. And not ironically, but what's the word I'm looking for? Not ironically, but they were the most fun, and it was also the best reception there. All right. Oh, look. I forgot that I had this camera, my shrimp camera or whatever, my shrimp posing. I forgot that I had this until just now as I was setting up, and I was like, oh, I should use that again. So hello, everybody. Awesome One says, Rocky, did you find your cap or you no cap? Yeah, I'm no cap, dude. I could not find it, but it's all right. Should go to a county fair and sketch the livestock. Unless your county fairs are like mine and have hardly any more. I'm not too close to a county fair. Yeah, I'm not. We do have those. More north, not in the city, but more north we do. But yeah, I've not been. Prawn cam, yeah, that's what's up. Prawn cam. All right, let me switch to the non-prawn cam. If I can get this right. Okay, cool. So I got two things. The first thing that I have was I had to open it up already because I don't know if you guys remember. I bought this from a website called Mercari, Mercari, and it's similar to, it's like any kind of seller site. Similar to eBay a little bit, but you don't compete to bid. You just put the price, and then if you want it, you bid on it, and then you get it. So then this package came, but I wanted to save it for an unboxing. But part of the process in Mercari when you sell something is the buyer has to rate the seller within 3 days for the seller to get paid. And because I was waiting so long to not open this, because I was waiting to when I was going to stream again, I kept getting pinged by the seller of like, hey, can you rate me? Like, did you got the package? I saw you got the package. And so I ended up having to open it up and rate them. And they actually gave me less than the 5-star, 6-star rating or whatever, just because I was slow to give a rating, which was kind of sucky. I was like, dude, I was still within my 3 days. But so anyway, for the sake of the stream, I lost a star in my rating, but it's okay. But I did have to open it already to check it, which is why, not a big deal, just cut into that package. But this is pretty awesome. And there's another opening part of it that I haven't done yet, so let me switch here. This is an official Wildstorm. Oh wait, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't muted just now. Okay. This is an official Wildstorm product. Excuse me. Okay, you guys are talking about county fairs. Got it. Oh, I had gone to a corn maze one time. There's a town up north here called Petaluma. It's more of a farm town. They do a lot of like dairy farming there, and it's about an hour north. And we went to a corn maze there in the evening. It was around, I think it was around Halloween time, and it was huge. And they had certain parts in that cornfield, where you could climb up on like a lifted up platform and kind of get a higher vantage point to know where you are. But as the sun went down and it got dark, it was like you could really get lost in there. So that was my first experience with like a corn maze of that size. It was pretty cool. All right, cool. So this is a official Wildstorm product, and it is, boom, Wildstorm New Horizon Portfolio by Charest. I had never known this had existed, but I'm a big fan of Charest. And he did these series of covers for different Wildstorm books in, what year? 1999. So these were each individual covers of a comic book, but they all connected. And I remember when Charest did this. Let me try and get a little closer. Oops. When he did this, he started off as kind of a Jim Lee clone, I would say, when he was first getting into the business, into comics and his stuff. He was good, but it looked like, oh yeah, you could see how he's influenced by Jim Lee. And then he started like, his style started developing a little bit more, kind of evolving. And it was like, oh wow, this guy's really kind of going somewhere. And then he did these covers, and it was like, holy cow, like where did this guy come from? Like, blew me away when he first did these covers. And so I bought some of them just for the covers. Unfortunately, he didn't draw the interiors for any of these, but when these came out, they just blew my mind. Look at this one. This one was from Gen 13. This the main character, and it was so cute, so like amazingly realistic, her face. But yeah, I guess they did this portfolio, and I don't know, I saw it on Mercari and I was like, what? I don't have all the covers, the original covers. I've just seen images of it, and they made a poster of it before. But to be in this little portfolio set, I was like, I need to get that. So this looks like it's sealed, never opened before. That's how they advertised it. Let me see if I can get this off without tearing. Maybe it was open before. Maybe they lied. Oh my gosh. Check this out. This is unbelievable. Okay. Let's see. Guys are talking about where you live. Different cover artist seems like false advertising too. Well, I mean, they didn't. It kind of is. I know for sure so many people bought them just for Travis's covers. Let me try and zoom in a little bit more here. But you kind of knew what you were getting at. Let's see. I gotta go to a different camera. You kind of knew that he wasn't drawing the interior, and I'm sure they got a bunch of sales because people love these covers. But I mean, oh my gosh. This is killer. And they all connect. I think after the first like couple ones came out, then people started realizing, holy cow, this is one image. Well, I'll go through them individually first, and then, did they write anything in the back? No. So it's on this like nice cardstock, but I'll go through them individually first, and then I'll try and assemble them. I mean, you can already see how these like connect. But his like likenesses that he drew, the cool thing was like it was realistic, but also heavily stylized. And then he started doing these washes. Like this, when these came out, they were just like, he went from a skill level of like, yeah, this guy's good. He's like a 7 out of 10. And then he went to like a 20 out of 10, like unbelievable. And everybody was like, holy moly. He had like some European influence, Japanese influence in his design style. I know he's really influenced by like Star Wars and all the classic movies. Like, look at that. The leg tech on that is amazing. And his covers look better than any of the interior art. This is for a character in Wetworks. So cool. This is for Wildcats. This is for Stormwatch. This is for, I think, Divine Right. Was it? Oh no, Wild Core, which was a book that they did. This one is for Divine Right. I never read it. It was a Jim Lee book. That's so awesome. Look at her face. Like so much attitude and incredible design. Yeah, this one was Wetworks. I think this is Pilgrim, or maybe this is Mother One. I think this is Mother One. Crazy like tech tennis racket. I don't know. This is from DV8, which I never read this series, but holy cow, look at this character. Like his rendering of like leather and the like belts, and then this like stone thing back here. So good. And then this is from Gen 13. This was one of my favorites because of her face. It was like, it didn't look like your standard Jim Lee or even J. Scott Campbell. J. Scott Campbell was the artist on Gen 13. He's incredible. He's the guy who did Danger Girl too. I think I've done a little review of one of his books, Danger Girl, his creator-owned series, but he got discovered and really blossomed on Gen 13. And he was great. He was like one of the most popular artists at the time. But then Travis's version of Gen 13, this main girl, Caitlin, is like, oh my gosh. Yeah, she had this weird animal thing, like pet. But Travis's rendition of it is amazing. Like just her costuming too. It's like, it's not the typical spandex superhero costuming. Like he really thought out like how the belts and the like leather and the, the piping and the seams. You really figure that stuff out. And then this is from Phantom Guard. I don't even remember this book. But look at that awesome cyborg. Yeah. Really good. Awesome one says, wow, what a cover. When artists speed through things, their art is just at a different level. Yeah. Hey, Cranberry, what's up? How are you doing? I just started this first unboxing, which was a Wildstorm New Horizons portfolio by Travis Charest. Never knew it existed before. Always thought it was just, oh, you just got to get the covers of the comic or the poster that he did. But these are like little, what's this size? This is like the tiniest ruler ever. 6 inches. So it looks like it's 9 inches. Yeah. 6x9 mini portfolio images. Really cool to have them like individual things here. Cranberry's at work. Awesome one says, yeah, so many times I've bought a book in a bag for the cover and inside generic art. Yeah, I mean, there's a handful of times where cover art becomes that much more. Excuse me. I mean, the cover art, like you're willing to buy the book just for the cover art or the cover artist. Travis is one of those people for me, because if he's doing stuff like this, I don't care what the book looks like inside. Yes, you wish the book inside would look that good, but this was next level. Obviously that's a Pokemon, that little queen guy on her shoulder. I don't think I have an issue of Gen 13 here where to show what the J. Scott Campbell version of it, but this one was way cooler in my opinion. Bad comic art is like bad music in a song, and bad writing is like bad lyrics in a song. They need to match. Yeah. It's like I'm trying to think of what the equation is, or how to equate it to music. Like if you had a good cover artist, versus what's interior. I mean, it's like if you had that one song that before when we couldn't just buy individual songs. And it's like you had that one hit song you wanted on the album, and then the rest of the album was like, meh, but you just wanted it for that one hit song. It's kind of like that. Art looks super sweet. Yeah. Oh yeah. Comrade Sammy has a sound bite. Check it out. Where is it? That's the chat ninja. Cranberry, I can't remember if we talked about what your soundbite would be, so let us know in the chat if you remember. Yeah, that was the chat ninja sound. We were just trying to remember, because I remember we had talked about it before, but trying to remember what everybody suggested. So yeah, check this out. This is how it connects. And I don't know how, like, if Travis, how he drew this, like, was it all one thing when he was drawing it? And he had to have planned it out that way. Let me zoom out a little bit more. I guess I can go a little bit more. Well, I mean, I can go all the way out, but then it's gonna look, I'm gonna see my junky desk. So let's see, it's like this. And I remember it wasn't clear that these all connected when they first came out, at least not to me. It was like you saw the one cover and you're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible, a Travis cover. But then when you saw the other ones come out, then you started realizing they connected. Then it was like game over. It's brilliant. Look at that. So cool. I can't remember if I had the poster. This came out, I think, when I was in college, and I can't remember if I had the poster or not. I don't think I did. I'm going to hide my head so you can see the full glory. Unlock. Boom. Is that cool or what? That's the coolest image ever. Travis Charest. Cranberry should be a line from those old Ocean Spray commercials. His sound effect. Yeah, what do cranberries sound like? Awesome One wants a sound. Yeah, what did we say your sound could be, Awesome One? How mysterious, like a ninja. Yep, we got the poof. We got the kind of sound. Cranberry sound. Emo suggestion works. Emo says, oh yeah, the Ocean Spray. Rocky's desk versus Sean's desk. That's funny you'd mention that. We definitely have different organizational styles. Let's just put it that way. I think I'd mentioned this before on some stream, but Sean, I would used to go to his room and he would have everything, like any kind of thing that I was looking for or just something interesting I would look for. Sean would have it. But I'd have to dig for it and really like look for it, hunt for it. So half the time I would be in Sean's room or his dorm room or his apartment or whatever, I would just be organizing his stuff and like going through his stacks and like, oh, these should be here and put this in this order. It was either his like DVDs, his videotapes, his comics. I would constantly be organizing in his room. So it was really funny. Back before Fatal J became famous, he did a manga about ninja, and when he left, he'd say ninja vanish. Okay, yeah, it is kind of like a ninja vanish sound. I'll take the top left and bottom right cover. Thanks, Rocky. Bottom right, top left, this one, Divine Right. I think this was the first one that came out, and it was just like, booyah. And bottom right, this one's my favorite. I love this one. Her face is so cute. I'm going to zoom in really tight on this so you guys can see it. Like that face has so much personality. It does not look like a stock comic face. It looks like there is some referencing going on here. But at the same time, it doesn't look like a photoreal face, if that makes any sense. There's stylization there, and that's what the brilliant thing that Travis can do, and many artists do that. Like Adam Hughes is like that too. Like his stuff I'd say looks a little bit more photoreal, but he also adds his own flair and style to it. But Travis, my gosh, that was so good. Love the one with the girl on the Purgatory piece. Her face is some stunning work. The Purgatory piece. Oh, yeah. This one's great. Look at her gun, too. Look at that. Wow. And as amazing as she is, look at this pipe. That's a stinking amazing pipe right there. Look at her costuming, too. Like the thick, high sole. Travis is good. So I did, when I knew I was pulling this out, I did pull out some of Travis's comic work. So after he did this, this was like the Renaissance period for Travis's work. Then he did this one shot on Wildcats. Like he was doing Wildcats somewhat regularly. I mean, again, it was in that like Jim Lee style already, and it was good. But then when he blew up into this unbelievable Travis style, then he got on. He did this one shot book. Boom. He did this one shot book called Wildcats X-Men Golden Age, which was a crossover. Do you guys know this one? And one of my favorites. And he basically did, like a one-shot crossover where Wolverine meets zealot. But he did it in that style of the cover. So he's doing so when we, as a fan, after he did those covers and then finding out he's doing a whole book that looks like that, then my mind was just like, I was freaking out. Beautiful. Look at that face. Oh my gosh, I love this panel so much. I really, really love this girl's face. He was on another level here. And then look at let me zoom in here. Look at the cross hatching. Whoa, sorry. That was a quick jump there. Look at the cross hatching on this panel. Like the nib he must be working with was probably like 0.0003 or something really small. I love the limited palette too. So he was doing a lot of this like tonal washes. His Wolverine's great. And I'm pretty sure, oh, maybe no, I think he inked himself on this one shot. But he started working, yeah, he did, he inked himself. But then he started working on they got him on the regular book of Wildcats. And he got an inker on that to do a regular book. And part of Travis's weakness is he's slow, really slow. So they got an inker to help him out on the regular series, which I'll pull out in a second. And that was Richard Friend. And Richard Friend is great. He streams. You guys should check out his YouTube channel. It does great streams on artists and his experience of working in the business. And I just wanted to zoom in on, like, my camera can't even do that justice, but look at the hatching on that grass. So good. But so yeah, Richard Friend was inking him on the regular series, and it's really good. He's a great inker. Sorry, I just want to get this out of the glare. Cranberry Langer says, great textures, nice deets. I like detail work like Rini and EVS. Yeah, those guys, I don't know how they do it. Like really, really tight, really, really thin pens. Emotress says, I'm so upset. I can't find a clip of them saying straight from the bog, but a lot of the old commercials are still golden. All these faces, again, that stylized yet realistic. I don't know what he did. It's like the jump was so extreme from what he used to draw to this. So it was like, again, where did this guy come from? Look at that train. Beautiful. Travis is still working. He's doing mostly covers. He did a full book with Mark Miller. He did an issue for the Ambassadors. And I'd say that his artwork has actually gotten a little bit more realistic and less stylized. It's still amazing, but I feel like he had the perfect balance here. Can you tell he loves Star Wars? This didn't even make any, to be honest, this didn't even make sense for the story. I think he just wanted to draw this cool image. And they're like, all right, just stick it in there. So amazing. And he also drew, Travis, one of the not last, but more recent sequential art things he did was for a European story called Inkle, or the Metabarons, which is Mobius and Jodorowsky. He worked with them on I don't actually have that. I should. I've always wanted to buy it, but I haven't bought it. I've heard Sean talk about it a million times. I've looked at it, but I never bought the actual book, but it's incredible. I only have, oh no, I do have, oh yeah, where is that? It'll take me too long to look. I do have an issue of it, but I think they've released like a huge artist edition of it where it's like bigger printed, and I think I do have an issue, one of the issues that he did to that. Where is that? Now that I ask, I know I have that. Wait, I'm gonna look really quick because it went with it. Anyway, this is Travis. You can see here on these pages, he was kind of speeding up a little bit. I think he was running out of time, like reprint, like copying images, not as much detail. This felt like a little bit more Jim Lee-ish style, like his go-to kind of style, less rendering. So I think he was running out of time at this point. And then, yeah, it was really cool. So like in the midst of Wildstorm styles, which this is Jim Lee, and then the other guys that were working at Wildstorm, which all kind of had similar styles, and you got Travis doing this, like crazy, crazy good. And then after he did this one shot, they put him on a regular book. This was a preview copy from San Diego Comic-Con 1998. Comrade Sammy says, you guys didn't, you know anyone can post in YouTube community? Maybe that's how you stay up to date with me. I'll just post in YouTube community instead. Do you have a YouTube channel, Comrade Sammy? What? Mark's Music Obsession said he just subbed to your channel? What the? I didn't know that. I'm going to sub. You looking for the Ocean Spray commercials? Oh, someone just put a clip. Okay, we'll have to check that out. The Ninja Fruit. Gory with the adult situations times, but good. The ending is very good. John DeFool. Oh, we're talking about Inkle? Yeah. Okay, so check this out. This was like a preview, pencil preview of the new Wildcat series that was coming out. So he did that one shot, then they put him on a regular book, and these are pencils of his stuff. Oh my gosh. I haven't looked at this in a while. His pencils are so tight. Crazy tight. And then, yeah, Richard Friend and Alex and Claire jumped in as inkers. Oh my gosh. This is so tight. Beautiful. All these very unique, pleasing faces. He's drawing Grifter. Incredible. Oh, I guess the flip side was Danger Girl. They were advertising Danger Girl pencil version. I have so many pencil versions of this day's Danger Girl. But that's cool. This is an incredible preview. And Travis just put his own style on each of these characters. Like this is Spartan, but his version of Spartan like had cooler hair, Grifter, Maul, and not Zealot. This is, oh gosh. What is the name of the girl who was like an exotic dancer? She had long hair. Why am I blanking on it? But like, yeah, he cut her hair, gave her this cool jacket. It's not, wow, totally blanking. No, it's not. Was it Voodoo? Oh yeah, maybe it was Voodoo. And then this was issue 1. I won't look at all the issues, but oh my gosh, look at this cover. Look at this cover. Poof. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Can you see that cover? Goodness gracious. That. So this was like on par. I actually have little toys of all these versions of Travis's versions, little like PVC toys that they sold, which were cool. I was trying to sell them. And then here's the inked of that pencils we just saw. And Richard Friend's doing the ink on these, on the inking on these. I think this was his first time working with Travis. Bog commercial for emo. Okay, cool. I'll keep that in mind. Not sure. Rocky, everyone with a YouTube name has a YouTube channel. Doesn't mean there's content though. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, what's up? Unhinged is here. Getting ready to start more fulfillment on Frog G. Just swinging by to hit the like and say hello. Ha. What's up, dude? You saw he saw that I had got his book in 2 of the stores. I'm actually the 3rd store. Well, if I can get to the third store today, I haven't gone to the comic book store yet. I'm going to go to Comics Experience, which I did drop off your book at. That was the first place I dropped off your book. I also dropped it off at Invisible Jet Comics. And the third place I want to drop it off is Amazing Fantasy. And that'll be all my copies except the one I'm keeping for myself. So yeah, I want to drop it off at Amazing Fantasy. I'll try and swing by today and see Frank's there. That's Frank's store. So I think he'd be great to carry your book. So yeah, just getting it out there. But thanks for stopping in. Carmen Sammy says, no, I do not have a channel. Okay, bummer. John says, I nominate Unhinged to be the first wrenching today. John, you're just trying to get everybody wrenched all the time. We're just going to be all wrenches all the time in my chat. Then we have to come up with super wrenches or something. Emo Trash says that first clip Awesome One sent was an Ocean Spray commercial. Oh, okay. These look gorgeous. Done my job as derailer in chief, of course. I can hear that train sound now. Fine tuning out now. Ciao for maybe the rest of the stream. See you guys later. See you later, Cranberry. I might stream again later today if I'm feeling so bold and am able to do it. I might do it again, so stay tuned. Hopefully the notifications go out if I do. Au revoir, Cranberry. See you later, Cranberry. Okay, so yeah, here is colored work of Travis's. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Look at this. Oh, I love this page. Spartan is just getting like shot by like these snipers. And he's a robot, so it doesn't hurt him. But he's totally getting like, his clothes are getting like annihilated. It's awesome. Man, this is so good. It was almost too good to be true to think of Travis on a regular book because he was so slow, but I think they banked a few issues. I have 4. Look at this tank. I love the way Travis drew boots and hair along with everything else, but he drew great shoes. His shoe game was unstoppable, and his hair game was amazing. I really appreciate good hair in comics because it's hard. And then the kind of tech he drew. I remember watching some stream. If you guys check out Richard Friend's channel, he does like deep dives into different artists, and Travis is one of them. And he has like a whole like folder on his desktop of all this Travis art. Some you've seen, some that's probably from his personal collection. But I remember him in particular talking about Travis's tech and how like difficult it was to ink because it was so detailed and like so specific, but it's amazing. It looks so real. Oh, and then this was Marlowe, who was like Imp. He was like their short boss, but then he gave him this alien form. Oh, it's so cool, his design. So cool. Yeah. Oh, this was like Travis's old style. Let me zoom in here. This is funny. Can you see his old style? Can't only zoom so far, but it's totally different. It was cool, but it definitely had that like Jim Lee quality to it. And then to go from this to this, crazy. Oh, these are cool. Check this out. He did another version of that cover. Oops. Here with his head turned, and then he switched it to this one. Awesome. Sorry, I know I'm jumping back and forth a little bit on the camera angle. You can do it, Rocky. Double stream. Thanks. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see how much energy I have and if I can pull it off. Okay, so you guys get the idea with Travis's stuff. I'll just show you the covers of the other book. This is issue 2. So the cool thing is this character Voodoo. I think it's Voodoo. she was an alien in this like sexy form, like this sexy, beautiful woman form. She was like an exotic dancer, but she was really this alien. They called them daemons. But this was kind of Travis's fun take on it of like, she's in this alien suit, but I love the way that he rendered that out. I think it was just a joke kind of for the cover, but I just love how he did that. And his design on that alien was amazing. That was issue 2. Issue 3, very cool action shot with Grifter. And then issue 4, Zealot, like, I think this was like diving into her past a little bit, and she was in a military setup. Great image. And then after this, he kind of lost steam and couldn't keep up with the regular schedule, which is kind of the story with Travis. I can actually pull out, before I do the second unboxing, let me pull out the switch to this angle. Let me pull out the ambassadors that he worked on, the issue of ambassadors he worked on with Mark Miller. So this was, just seeing, you can see my floor a little bit. This was the issue that he worked on with Mark Miller for this book, Ambassadors. And I'll just show you like how his style has evolved a little bit now current. So this came out maybe 4 months ago, maybe 5 months ago. But you can see like he's still Travis. He's rendering like crazy now. A lot more line hatching work. And there's similarities to it, but he's not using wash tones as much. More hatching. But you can see her face feels a little bit more realistic than it was. Than his other stuff. Than like the stuff we were just looking at. Like the portfolio stuff. If you compare, like let's just compare to my favorite one. So you can see it feels a little bit more leaning towards the realism side versus the stylized face here. They're both, you can see the similarities, but yeah, there's definitely differences now. And it's just, I guess, the natural progression of his style. But he's still incredible. And according to Mark Miller, he's still slow. But I think he's so established and well known in the comic world as just being like this auteur, everybody freaks out on Travis's stuff artist, that he gets paid what he gets paid to just do the limited amount of work he does, whether cover work or one-shot issues or whatever. Really awesome. He did Paris. So these French heroes. This is great, great, great character. He's just got style up the wazoo and rendering abilities. One of the books that I did a flip through very early on my YouTube channel was this art. He did kind of this like experiment, like sketch series kind of thing that he turned into a comic strip, one panel comic strip called Space Girl. Let me get that. Switch. I don't know why I switch views. You guys can't see me anyway, but just mixing it up. You guys can see a flip through video of this book on my channel if you look on whatever the part of my channel that is like the videos. But I did a complete flip through of this, but I'll just show you really quick. This was something he did. I got the French version, If you try and look for this like on eBay, the English version, even the French version, it's really expensive. He sold it only at cons, if I remember, maybe on his website at a certain time, but this was awesome. Just an awesome kind of exercise. He was just trying to do like the old newspaper strips. I don't even think he really had a story in mind. He was just drawing what was cool and just connecting it a little bit. But you can tell he loves Star Wars. He loves his sci-fi tech. Super cool. And then in the back, they have a few like concept drawings. Like I'm sure he has, if he's not already, worked in like concept design for films. This kind of feels like this world of the portfolio covers. Like really amazing designs. Anyway. Cool stuff. That's my Travis spiel. He's incredible. And this portfolio set that I just got is super cool to have these in this format. I wish I had a neat way of displaying it in my room. I'd have to think about that, but at the very least, I have it here all together without having to own the issues. So that's pretty awesome. What are you guys talking about? Thank you for saying Miller properly. Tired of people trying to mispronounce it. Cough, cough, Shane. I just saw a great interview that Mark Miller did with, is this right? There's a YouTube channel that I subscribe to called Ink Pulp, and it's 3 artists. Comic book artist Sean Crystal, Eric Canete, and Matteo Scalera. All incredible artists. And where am I? Oops. Oh no. Sorry. There we are. All incredible artists. And they do a great podcast, and they're just talking about the business, and they interview people, and they interview their last episode. If you guys look up Ink Pulp, their last episode, they interviewed Mark Miller, and it was awesome. I just listened to it yesterday. It was a great conversation just about his career, how hard he works, what he's doing, the industry, what his view on where the industry's going, problems in the industry or whatever. But it's awesome. It's just a super insightful conversation. Mark Miller always interviews well. If you can understand his accent's pretty strong. And then Matteo and Eric and Sean, they're all great artists in their own right. So it's just cool to see that kind of conversation happen about comics and how much they love comics. And one of the takeaways I took was like Mark Miller was saying how people look at comics. They used to look at comics, or recently looked at comics as like a stepping stone to get your idea optioned into a feature film or an animated project or a TV series with Netflix. And that all happened for Mark Miller. Like he's made it to the top of the top as a writer and creator. And, now he's like this, he has this empire of all of his properties being developed into films and TV shows and everything. But for him, he says that comics is the goal. It's not all this extra stuff. Or yeah, for sure it brings in money, but his first love is comics, and that's always been the goal. And so he feels like the people who just are using comics to get their ideas out there, like that's starting to erode the industry a little bit. And they're not really the people that are fans and hardcore, diehard comic fans, and they're not helping the industry. They're kind of destroying it the way that it's going. And he even says that about YouTube creators. Like there's a lot of YouTube creators out there that say they're comic fans, but then they just get out there and, jump on the like bandwagon of this creator versus this creator. And then you start all these factions and it's so divisive and stuff. But at the end of the day, most comic fans just want to talk about comics and just want to share what's cool and just say, hey, cool, check this out. And he was even saying that like at comic book conventions before, now it's just like so divisive, and the independents versus the big 3 or the big 2 and all this like political just mess. And he's really sad about it. But he said at the end of the day, he feels like the industry is going to start shrinking, or it already is. And it's going to go back to like those 200 people in a hotel lobby who just want to share what the next cool thing they're working on with each other and talk about the top artists and geek out about their work. He's like, it's going to go back to that. And he's okay with that. But he, he doesn't want to see the industry die. But he definitely knows that like the real fans are those people. And that's what I love about comics, and that's why that's why I'm doing this. Just because that when you meet your quote unquote your people, and you find the people that have the same passion that you do, not to hate on everybody else or hate on what people are doing wrong, but just to share with what you're excited about. Those are the true fans. Like those are the people that'll be there. I appreciate Rocky not paying us the slightest bit of mind as we spiral here. Your derailing doesn't always work on me, emo trash. I'm trying to talk about comics here. So, and whenever I jump down the rabbit hole of following chat, then I get lost. So yeah, I'm trying to balance it out. Also, let me look at the chat. Okay, let's see. Cranberry popped in again, saying unhinged, not ripping chicken. Understand his what? I'm sorry, I don't understand your accent, Rocky. Mark Miller, he had this funny story of saying that like, it was Mateo met Frank Quitely, who is also Irish, Scottish. I can't remember what, but he has a very strong accent too. And he asked him like, does Mark Miller sound like he has an accent to you? Like, do you sound like you guys each other? Because I kind of understand what you're saying. So if I can understand you, I can understand him for the interview. I guess it was a really funny thing. And Mark Miller was saying sometimes he doesn't even understand himself. But yeah, he does have a very, very distinct accent. My deep non-Asian accent. That's right. My non-Asian, non-Southern accent. John says, my passions are erratic. I mean, it's fandom. I mean, that's why people are fans. They're passionate about something. So I get it while people get angry and upset about things not being the way they should be. But when it takes over the conversation, and it takes over the joy of just sharing about comics and what comics are great about, whether you like them or not, then that's when I'm just like, okay, I'm out. I don't want to like talk about the poo-poo on other people for what they're doing wrong. If I don't like it, I'm just not going to read your comic, and I'll just talk about what I do like. So it's cool. If we voted between Dr. Disrespect and Satan, who would win? I don't know. What are we voting for? The one where our vote didn't matter. Oh, the election. Oh, gosh. Yes. Voted for what reason exactly? The people had the vote to either crucify Jesus or some random criminal, and the people chose Jesus. Yeah. I don't know if that was a good choice. All right, cool. So, hold on. Let me check this. Got a message. Make sure I'm not blowing. Okay, perfect. Yes. Okay. All right, let's get to the second thing that I was going to unbox today. This one, if Mr. Monkey Boy is still here, I think would appreciate this one. If he's not, let's just say BD 5 times and hope that he shows up. But this one, I think I know what it is. And if it is from France. And if it is from France, I'm very excited for what this is. It is what I thought it was. All right. Check this out. Oh boy, oh boy. So along with Travis Charest, excuse me, as one of my favorite artists, no matter what he does, I love this artist who is not French, but this book is from France. They did not produce this book in this format here. But there's an incredible store that I visited. Wait, was this the right store? No, not the store. There's an incredible publisher in France, but their books are covered or carried in most all the French comic book stores that I went to. And I've ordered some stuff. I bought some stuff and I've ordered stuff from them before, but their name is Urban Comics here, but they do these great formats of stuff. So I have like here, I'll go grab it. This was produced by Urban Comics before. I guess that one was it. Is this one? I thought I had one more produced by Urban Comics. But if you guys go back and watch if you watch my video that I did of the French comic book stores, which was one of the very first YouTube videos I did, you'll go and see one of the stores I visited was called Album Comics, ALBUM, like album. And a lot of high-end, top-notch creators go there for signings. They're like one of the biggest stores in Paris. Jim Lee was there just recently. Daniel Warren Johnson, the Transformers guy, is I think he's going there for a signing, or he was there. I can't remember. But if you watch the video that I have, you'll see like their shelves are filled with these formatted books that all kind of have this similar format. See that album? So this was one that I got there. It was of Darwin Cook. Darwin Cook, the guy I still haven't done the video of. Yes, I feel guilty about that. But this was a story that he did called Batman Ego, and they produced this like black and white version of it, which is amazing. So a lot of times Album Comics will produce these black and white formats of particular books. This issue, or this story, Rafael Grampá did a one-shot story called The Dark Knight Returns: The Golden Child with Frank Miller, one of my favorites. And I bought that. I have that colored version, that produced version here. Where did I put that? Here. Whoop. Up there. Here. Yeah. So yeah, this is the American version that I bought here. But then I saw somebody on X was talking about, oh, there's this amazing French version that they just released, a hardcover of Dark Knight Returns: The Golden Child. And I'm like, do I need that? I already have this one. Rafael Grampá, I think he's from Brazil, I want to say. But he's an incredible artist, does an incredible Batman. And he's the one who's doing Gotham, Gargoyles of Gotham. Gotham Gargoyles? Gargoyles of Gotham. He's doing a miniseries right now, which I think is 4 issues, and he's only come out with 2. I've reviewed it a few times in my Wednesday Comics videos. Anyway, the person on X I asked him a couple questions. I'm like, oh, is it a cool version? And it has the book produced here in French, hardcover bound, pretty cool. A little larger format. Okay, cool. Is it worth buying from France? Maybe. That's kind of cool. But can you get that version here? You can get a hardcover of The Golden Child here. But what it does have differently is it has a black and white version of it. That is something that has not been released here. And that's what I wanted. Oh, no letters. Amazing. I didn't know that. That is why I got this book. How cool is that? Let me zoom out a little bit. Here? Yeah. Okay, where are we at? My gosh. This is why I was not ignoring you guys, but just letting it roll. We're talking about politics, labeled a fascist. Here we go. Raining, weather. Don't know where this came from. Friendly neighborhood nuts. Okay. I do recall the French comic book store you patron. Thank you, Cranberry Langers. Keeping us on track here. Molotov cop. Oh yeah. This image, the Molotov. But yeah, check out this black and white version. I love Grampá's work. He's one of those artists that I think for me, it's always the combo of like stylization and yet total command of drawing realism. That's always what, like, it's like if you had like sliders on a person's ability, finding that sweet spot is where the artist that I love the most is like Michael Golden's like that. Grampá's like that. Travis Charest is like that. Jason Pearson is like that. Jeff Darrow, those guys. And so yeah, whenever I find those artists, I'm like, oh, I can just, like, everything that they do, I want to collect. And then to see it in black and white, that just takes it over the top for me. The colors were really good in this book, but I just love seeing it in its purest form. But Grampá's really late on the, like, issue 3 of that Batman Gargoyles of Gotham. But that's okay for me. Because if it looks like this is the quality work, and the quality of work that he's been doing on that Batman Gargoyle of Gotham book is amazing. They have been releasing black and white versions of that, so I'm not the only one that is diehard of wanting to see his black and whites. This is his version of Apocalypse, which is amazing. Yeah, he's just great at like action and stylized. Like, I love how stylized his Batman, or in this case, it's this is in the future, so this is Carrie, I believe this is her, the girl who was Robin in The Dark Knight Returns. And then this is totally an homage to Frank Miller stuff right here. Wow, this is awesome. This is why I got it, just to see this whole, I love that the letters are not on here and you're just looking at the artwork. You can see some of the, oh, I didn't realize this. I thought it was just the clean black and white art, but you can see some of the like penciling in here, the like rough pencils underneath. So that's cool. It's a little bit like an artist edition, not totally. Oh, that's awesome. He's so good. Here's the color. Oh, this is the cover from here. Arsonist Batman, I like it. Yeah, it's just this kind of anarchy in the future. And this is, at least in Frank Miller's world, this is Superman's daughter. She's not as noble as Superman is. And then I believe this is Carrie Kelly from Dark Knight Returns. This is a Frank Miller drawing. Amazing. And even in that Frank Miller documentary that I watched, they were asking him, like, which artist are you really excited about now? And he mentioned Grampá. Like he said, he's one of the greats right now. And it's true. Look at that. That's so cool. Blah, blah, blah. In French. Can't understand it. Oh, this is cool. It's like his sketchbook. Oh, I did this like cool painterly kind of approach. Wow, this is cool. He kind of has like a multimedia company going on, Grandpa does. I know he does a lot of work for like advertising, and he's kind of elevated to a different level of just a comic book artist, at least in South America. So yeah, I've seen like he's always working on these projects that are not just a comic book. It's like it's a commercial for an alcohol or like this limited edition print series or something. So he's on a totally different plane, which is probably why he's a little bit slow on getting the books out. Oh, this is cool to see his layouts. Wow. Love it. That's cool, the layout for this image. Love this crazy cropping. It's like very unusual cropping. And then this is the main image of the layout for the main image of this series or this book. Where's that image? There it is. Very cool. This is awesome. I love it. Glad I got it. Yeah, I got it through Amazon France. Shipping was a bit expensive, but totally worth it. I love it. Do you love... Okay, do you want to get rid of... Okay. We are getting... getting deep into the discussion now. I don't understand French people's accents. Depends. I love the French accent. That black and white double splash page of Batman rocks. Yeah, amazing. Parlez-vous français, Rocky? Non. I wish. I'm a little lazy when it comes to learning a language. I should. If I were to learn a language, I think it would be French, maybe, because I just love the way it sounds. That friend of ours who came that I took to the zoo, she's French-Canadian, and so she speaks fluent French. I'm kind of jealous of her being able to do that. I want to be able to ride upon a rainbow and do wheelies without being arrested. Are we talking about the rainbow babies again? I made a poll on my channel. You guys should all vote on it. Oh, okay. We'll have to check that out. All right, Cranberry Land is going again. See you later. Take care. I downvoted your poll, Sammy. Oh my gosh. See you, Cranberry. Okay, Mr. Monkey Boy is still here. Hopefully he saw this book. Talking about voting, rigging the vote. It's all a mess. American politics are such a mess right now. My other 4 random subscribers are going to be wondering what the heck I'm doing. Can we add pictures to our community? I think you can. To a community tab. Yeah, I think you can add pictures. Then you can actually share stuff on streams. Oh, you mean, wait, in your community tab you can. You mean on mine? I don't know. That's a good question. Just gleefully paging through his comics, not a care. See, that's me. I'm an escapist, an avoider. I love comics, all that kind of stuff. New poll, should Sammy start streaming? I would vote this. Yeah. Huh? Rocky Chat is just an adult daycare, maybe? That's okay. Adult daycare that talks about comics? I'd go there. Mr. Monkey Boy was on the phone with a hospital. Okay. Hope all is well. Post a drawing under your poll that says you'll never post Sammy. Oh my gosh. Wait, I gotta check out. Now I'm curious. Now you got me curious. How do I do this? Okay. I'm gonna try and find go to channel. I'm gonna do this. Oh wait, let me switch my view so that oh no, let me switch this view so it just mixes it up a little bit. Go here. I'm going to go to Comrade Sammy's channel. Community. Should Comrade Sammy post in community? No, definitely not. Absolutely not. Well, that doesn't... can I just... I'm going to say... I'm going to vote... I'm going to add a comment here. I don't think I can vote on that, but I will comment. Here we go. I commented. All right, cool. So that was the stuff that I unboxed. I had a couple more things to look at, if you guys would. So last week, I don't think I picked up anything. Oh, I did pick up something last week. This was a book I picked up. Let's switch views. I picked up Scarlet #1. I have not read it yet. Oops. I haven't read it yet. But, and I wasn't thinking I was going to pick it up, but then it was sold out everywhere. So it made me go, well, maybe it's doing well. And then just briefly on looking through it, I'm not super psyched about the art. It has this kind of anime influence to it, which is okay. I'm kind of it's kind of hit or miss for me as far as like when non-Japanese artists have an anime style. I believe this artist, Marco Ferrari, I'm just going to guess. If he's not American, then he's probably Italian. But he has this anime style or manga style in his work. However, I did feel like the layouts and the pacing, the overall quality felt a little different, felt a little bit more American, a little bit more Euro, not leaning so heavily on manga style. There's a few artists that have a distinctly manga style that are not from Japan that I can get on board with. Like Joe Madureira was one of those. He did Battle Chasers. There was another artist named Adam Warren who he had a very clearly distinct manga style, but he kind of had his own flair to it, which I liked. So I don't know. There's something about this when I was looking through the art, and again, I haven't read it yet, but that just made me go, all right, I'll give it a try. I'll give it the one issue try because it feels different. It feels a lot more serious, and this artist is kind of bringing something different to the table, even though he is influenced by manga. So yeah, I picked this up. Scarlet #1. This is continuation of fleshing out the Energon universe. Storm Shadow at the end. I did not pick up Destro #1, which this is like a preview of. That one, the artwork, I couldn't really jump on. But yeah, I'm going to read this one, see if I like the story and how it's paced out. And I'll go from there as far as deciding what I want to pick up, if I want to continue picking it up. So that was that. Scarlet, I got that last week. Okay, where are we? Me drinking tea? I voted on Rocky's comment on Sammy's poll. Okay, wait, I gotta go back now and see. This is gonna be this is like totally confusing, but I love it. It's like oh wait, no. Go to channel activity. Oh wait. Oh, that's not right. Not go to channel activity. Go to channel. Wow, weird. YouTube. I got a thumbs up. That was John. Okay, cool. This is getting complicated. It really is. Oh my gosh. It's rigged. It's totally rigged. This is how voting rigging happens. Right here in real time we're doing it. Charest Psalms. Hey, I can only stay for a hot minute. Nice. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. We're kind of a mess right now. We don't know what we're doing. But it's good to see you, and thanks for coming by. Is this from John? John, did you bring in Charest Psalms? If you did, thank you very much. John is my biggest recruiter for the chat. He's brought in some great ones here. So thank you for coming. Thanks for listening to John. Yep, I figure you guys know each other. So awesome. Welcome here. We just talk about comics, and then the chat tries to get me to talk about politics and rainbow babies. And I try and go along, but it doesn't go so deep because I'm very much about the comics. But we all have a good time, and we do stuff like this. Maybe if you show up more and more and more, I could give you one of these custom babies. It's for Comrade Sammy, our chat ninja. So go vote in her poll. Go read the chat and vote on her poll, because that's what's going on right now on the side. This is my friend Charest Psalms. Guess where from? Hey, nice to meet you. Always glad to meet a friend of John. Friend of John is a friend of mine. I don't know who to vote for. Me neither. That's okay. If you don't know who to vote for, just give a thumbs up or thumbs down, thumbs sideways. I don't know. I think I saw Charest Psalms on Gothics, probably. Sounds like that's where a good contingency of John's connections come from. That's great. Emo trash. Oh my gosh. John is your biggest stan, you mean? Yes. As the young folks like to say, he's my biggest stan. I don't even know what that means. I mean, I kind of do, but I'm not cool like that. How's Louie, emo? Charest Psalm says, I love comics, kinda. Cool. No, that's awesome. I really do love comics. I love it a lot, and that's what my channel's about. So usually I'm streaming on Wednesdays because that's New Comic Book Day. Although somebody was telling me, somebody I talked to was telling me that new comic books used to come out on Tuesdays, which I don't even remember that. I think even when I was in college, they were still coming out on Wednesdays. But I like to stream on Wednesdays because I like to talk about the books I'm excited for. I like to go and get the books and then come and share it with the chat and talk about which books I picked up, which after this stream, I am probably going to, soon. I'm probably going to head to the comic book store today, get my books, and then I've told the chat, I might stream again later today to talk about those books. I'm just talking about stuff that I got in the mail and books I picked up last week. So much to talk about. It might have to break into 2 streams. Rainbow babies, like the hospital, right? Right? I don't know. Somebody earlier asked about rainbow babies. That's why I brought it up. So I don't even know where that came from. But, well, we're just all formulating the question was, where do rainbow babies come from? Oh, maybe that was a Gothics question that he carried over here. Maybe. John, help. Stan is from an Eminem song. Is that is that really the origin of that, Stan? Is it? I don't know. John is your biggest stan. Who recruited your biggest problem? You win some, you lose some. Oh my gosh. See, John is more hip than you know. He is. And that's why we love him. John helps me with all sorts of stuff. Technical stuff, YouTube etiquette stuff, and then like abbreviations. John's really good at like keeping me up to date with abbreviations that I am not really aware of because I'm not hip like that. And John will always have the distinction. Somehow I have to think of how to work this into your custom sound that will one day happen, John. But John was the very first person in my chat, the very first live stream I did. He was numero uno. So that's an incredible distinction in my mind. And John's first chat to me in YouTube was, I've said this a lot, but it was the encouraging words of, "What is this?" And it was a good question because I didn't even know myself. I was like, I have no idea. The poll is slip. So what? That's a triple whammy for not community posting. The poll is slip. What does that mean? See, sometimes it's hard. It's hard to know if I'm. Oh, okay. It's hard to know whether I am. This poll is split. It's hard to know if I am not aware of a phrase, like a hip phrase or like an abbreviation, or it's just a typo. So that makes it difficult, especially in real time, to figure that kind of stuff. Hashtag slip Sammy. Okay, let's see. Winglish, we don't know English. Chat warmer, no. You're a chat anchor. You're a chat anchor. John tried to explain abbreviations to me, even though I'm younger than him. Yeah, there you go. You need him. John is definitely an anchor in this in the chat world. Okay, I got one more thing to share with you guys. This was another thing I picked up last week, which I thought was cool. I actually didn't even know this existed, but it was really cool. And I picked up this trade of Darkness Pitt, illustrated by the incredible Dale Keown. As many of you know, he has been active in YouTube. He's part of the whole Comicsgate movement of comics, and he's always often doing variant covers, and he was one of the greatest Hulk comic book artists of our generation, and then he created his own property Pitt with Image Comics back in the 90s, 2000s. So, and then he did some fill-in issues on Darkness for Mark Silvestri's company, Top Cow, but I never knew there was a Darkness Pitt crossover and that he drew it. So when I saw this, I was like, holy cow. I looked it up too, and it's not hard to find. I mean, it's not easy to find online. So when I saw it at the comic book store, just happened to randomly run across it on the shelves, I was like, I need to get that. Wait, anchor, like I weigh you down? No, like you're like a strong, you keep us grounded, give us a foundation to build off of, John. Not that you weigh. That would be a ball and chain. You're not a ball and chain. RAP John, BRB, GG, what the fudge, OMG. That's why we need John. See, he would translate that for us. Comic gates, like gamer gates. So, yeah, I don't want to get into it too much, but yes, it's kind of like that. I know it spawned out. I don't actually know all the history of it. I'm not totally versed in it. I'm just kind of on the periphery because I love comics and I love a lot of the books of what is being produced. But yes, a bunch of independent creators. A lot of them used to work in the mainstream comic industry, and then they were blacklisted because of their political views, which was kind of sucky, and they reacted to that. They were really upset about that, and they were losing the ability to do their job just because of how they voted and what they believed. And so they formed their own independent process of getting their books out there, connecting with their own audience on YouTube, and funding their books, their independent books. And a lot of them are really successful. And Dale Keown is one of those that has kind of gone into the fold of that group and is doing work for them. I don't know if he's working on his own book. He should be, but he is incredible. I grew up with his stuff and his artwork, and you can just see here, like, it's just an amazing artist. So Dale Keown just gets better and better. He's one of those guys, again, like I'd mentioned about Charest and Grampá. Dale Keown is one of those who has that great line of like stylized, and then he can draw the snot out of anything. And you can just see that in this book. Charest says, I'm always intrigued by character designs of comic hero and anti-heroes. Yeah, it's great. I mean, there's so much about comics I love. I try and explain it to certain people, but and even in that Mark Miller interview I was telling you guys to check out on Ink Pulp's YouTube channel, he talks about how when people find out that he does comics, like his friends or whatever, they're like, oh, that's cool. And then they try and do it, or they're like, oh, I would love to do comics. And then they realize just how difficult it is, because in comic books, you're not only like designing the characters and writing these stories that have meaning and like morals and good guys and bad guys and all that. You're like designing the characters. You're like composing the picture. Each panel is like a painting, and all of the panels need to work together to be successful. And you're dealing with drawing and inking and coloring and composition and lighting and mood and lettering and all these kind of things. There's just so many things you're dealing with that people don't realize how much work goes into it. And the people that are really good at it, you can count on your hand, you know. Most people are good at like 3 out of the 100 aspects that are good. But the ones that last and the ones that are universally adored and that people love their work are those who can master a lot of these pieces of it. So, and then comics can be anything. You can be telling a story about a horror story. You can tell a superhero story. You can tell a romance story. You can tell a comedy story. You can, yeah, anything. That's amazing. Amazing drawing. Pitt, awesome. Here's John. This is why you're an anchor, John. John's with his like very succinct explanation. Comicsgate, a counter movement to wokeness in comics. Yep, that's exactly it. Mutegate. That's my world. Are you helping? I miss you. That's the first time I've seen you admit that, awesome one. You are definitely the like curveball. I'm gonna write that down. Awesome one, curveball. It's gotta be something in your sound. You're like the curveball of chat, the hilarious curveball. But this is the first time you've admitted it, that you were mischievous. Rocky, read all the abbreviations just for the stream to freeze for a sec, so it looked like he was processing the info. Really? Did it just stream? Whoops. I mean, pause. That makes sense. Marvel and DC have been pulling too many woke stuff. Yeah. And I think whatever your politics, it's people don't like, or my perception of it is people don't like to be like spoon-fed or like for agendas to be crammed down your throat. You kind of want to be able to come to your own conclusions and be entertained in the process of reading a comic book. And you don't want somebody's agenda, you know, being forced down your throat if you want to just have a escapist superhero book to read, or just want to read about this cool, dark, brooding alien character and this boy. Like, I don't want to be talking about, you know, how diverse he needs to be or whatever. Like, that to me isn't what comics and entertainment necessarily, I don't think they thrive in that. Everybody, like, well, I mean, you can, but you're going to really limit your audience. I should put it that way. So, and that's what I feel like is happening with the big companies like Marvel and DC. They're kind of limiting their audience. They're turning off a lot of the people who made them as huge and would attend their movies and watch their films. Same thing. Read their comics, buy their merchandise, all that kind of stuff. They're kind of turning off that audience. And so you're seeing it in the movies and the content that is a lot more heavy-handed with certain agendas, you're seeing people like not respond positively to that. So I think that's where the independent market comes in, and people kind of going back to their roots of what they want to see in books. I love that. I love that we can do that in this day and age and produce excellent comic books outside of working for a big company. Man, I wish Dale Keown will do a new series or something, because he is so good at drawing. Chat Ninja rubbed off on you, or was it emo? Awesome one. I've always been mischief. Yeah, you are. Holding. Maybe because Mark's Music Obsession's mom sometimes watches this stream. So yeah, you gotta hold back. Charest Psalms says, "Are those zombies? I don't know the story, but yeah, they look like it. And man, can Dale Keown draw like rotting flesh and zombie-like characters really well. He's always drawn like muscly stuff, but like the sinewy horror stuff, he's really good at it. And he showed that off in Pitt. And then I know when he was doing some Witchblade stuff, Darkness stuff, he was showing that off too. So it's so cool to see that there's a crossover with them both together. Oh, I can show you like one of the things that this book has is Pitt #1. The first issue of Pitt #1 they included too. You can see the stylistic change of Dale's work. How much he's evolved from, like, here's where he is at now, and this is how he was before, which was a lot more stylized, but more image style, like pinup, fun stuff. Pitt was so cool. Basically, he came off of drawing Hulk for Marvel, wanted to do his own independent book, and just drew another Hulk, but made him like more rock and roll and like heavy metal. Yeah, he's an alien as opposed to a gamma radiated Bruce Banner. But yeah, this was the original first issue, so it's kind of cool that they included it. You can kind of see where Pitt came from. I want to be able to draw the snot out of anything. Me too. The inking for comics, excuse me, the inking for comics go crazy, especially black inking. Yeah. I mean, Dale, like, this feels like pretty standard of like what Image Comics was when he was there, as far as like, you know, just balls to the wall, really exciting, impactful art. But then when he got to like this level, got a lot more sophisticated and darker, and also the computer coloring got a lot more sophisticated too from where it used to be. Sometimes I like that, sometimes I don't. In this particular case, I think it's done really well, and so it's beautiful, the kind of stuff he was able to do. And Dale just keeps getting better and better. Like, he's not simplifying as he gets older, he's getting way more tight. It's awesome, really good. He should do like concept for video games. Awesome one says, once you pull the snot out of the environment, you'll be full of boogers and you can clean. That's a great way of looking at it. John says, escapism should be devoid of current day politics. I agree. I think, yeah, I totally agree. I mean, some people want to read stuff that it's a reflection of what they're wrestling with in this day and age, and I get that. That's cool. But you will limit your audience, because most people just want to escape. They want to aspire for things greater than what they're living in day to day. They want to be inspired to be bigger than who they are, and sometimes seeing like idealized versions of a superhero can do that for people. You know, when you see Superman do great things and he's got these superpowers and he can stop trains and stop bullets and all that kind of stuff, like, you want to see that. You don't want him to be like wrestling with like, I don't know, all the issues that we are wrestling with today. And especially if they're heavy-handed in one direction, one way or the other. Like, there's all sorts of spectrums of what people believe. And but I think we can all agree that, you know, we want to be better people. We want to help people. We want to rise above our condition. So those are kind of universal messages. We want to be the hero. We want to conquer our obstacles in life. Those I feel like are bigger human things that are common. But when we get super specific of, I believe this, and I believe this kind of person should be this, and they should do this, and fight these kind of people, and these, then it's like, then you're going to lose like half your audience. Someday Pitt will have a nose. I hope not. I hope not. That's what makes Pitt Pitt. Sumo also doesn't have a nose. Sumo Thori? Emotress says, people come to media to escape the horrors of modern politics, but then the snowflakes didn't feel represented enough, and now they're making everyone suffer in the process. Yeah, when you force me to like, yeah, that's exactly it. Exactly it. Representation, I think, is important. But like, I mean, when I was growing up, my representation in the entertainment that I was seeing was like Data from Goonies, the Ernie Reyes Jr. in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Short Round, who was also Data, but Short Round in Indiana Jones, the same actor played Data. Bruce Lee, kind of, but he was I was a little bit young but during that time, but kind of. And then that was about it. And I can see how that's important. Like, I was always rooting for those characters because I could like visually, culturally make a connection with them. But at the end of the day, I still loved, the heroes that we were watching. I still loved, I wanted to be Indiana Jones. I wanted to be Luke Skywalker, not because he looked like me, but because he was doing things and going through an adventure that I wanted to do myself, right? So I related to Luke Skywalker being the young kid who, was seeking something greater than himself and had to overcome these obstacles to become who he was meant to become. That's how I related to him, not because he was like blonde hair, blue eyed, or he was an Asian kid or whatever. So, but people feel differently now, and politics are so supercharged right now that, it's bleeding into our entertainment. And if it's so important to some people, but just look at the results of what's happening. What's happening. Like, is entertainment getting better now because we're doing all this kind of political stuff in it? I'd argue no. Like, I'm not really super psyched about a lot of the movies that are coming out now. I'm not real. The ones that I watch have nothing to do with that, and then they're few and far between. The comic books I pick up have nothing to do with that, or at least very little to do with that. Less to do with that, and more to do with like the things that I'm excited about, the artwork and the excitement and the adventure and the characters. Like, that's what's more important to me. Oh, I think that's the biggest soapbox I've been on. Look what you guys are doing. Weak men make everyone miserable. Stand up to the nonsense. I feel like there's a market or circle for politics and media, but I don't know. It's hard to pull it off so that you aren't totally disengaging the audience. Yeah, I think it's, you'll find, similar to anything, you'll find your audience of people who agree with you and have the same views as you do, but you're going to limit it, and you're going to limit being able to affect humanity in a greater way. You'll find your tribe that stands on the same side as you do, but I find it more interesting when you can connect with people who you don't normally connect with. That's what I love about YouTube right now, and being able to stream with all of you. I bet if we all met in person, wouldn't that be a funny day? I bet we'd all be very different from one another. I bet we'd all have different views on a lot of things. But what's connecting us, well, which I hope is connecting us, but maybe it's not. Maybe I think it's connecting us, but you guys are connecting on a different level. For me, it's like, I like connecting with people who love comics. I don't care what your political views are. I don't care what you look like. If you love comics and you want to geek out about artwork, I'm all here for it. And that's what attracted me to comics in the first place. So that's what I love about this format, and this format of connecting with people. It connects me with people I wouldn't normally. And that's the beauty of comics. Like, there's no entry. There shouldn't be an entry to reading a particular book, or you shouldn't have to believe something and get on board with a certain kind of politics to enjoy a book. It should just be enjoyable because of the merit of the artwork and the storytelling happening in it. So, did Rocky get Keowned? Nice one, John. I will watch Rocky streams. I never get tired of that soundbite. I'm glad. The old school political cartoons were at least funny and creative. Yes, and I think also there's a place for it. I mean, I used to watch the old like propaganda cartoons of, like the Mickey Mouse propaganda cartoons or Donald Duck or whatever, and they were funny. Private Snafu, like all those kind of stuff, they're funny. Yeah, they speak of a time. They stand, but I think overall, first and foremost, they were entertaining, and they were unique. They weren't just a political message wrapped in, a character that you thought you knew. So it's tough. It's really tough when you step into that and you want to make a political statement. You got to know that if you don't do it in a way that allows the audience to come up with their own conclusion and give the freedom for them to come up with their own conclusion, whether they agree with you or not, but you're like, no, you have to believe this because I'm creating it this way and this is the way it is. And if you don't believe it, you're wrong. I don't know. I feel like that's the recipe for turning off an audience. This guy can draw rotting, decaying tissues so good. I love it. He can. Edgelord Hulk. Lying is now the norm, even in news. Yeah, we are. That's awesome. Emo trash. That should be my new hashtag. Cough mix. That's right. I told you guys I will have this cough for a while. It probably won't go away for another month or so. It's just how it goes for me. Bring back Arthurian politics. Yeah. King Arthur. I want more stories of the shenanigans of a king making poor life choices. I think we're living in those shenanigans. Maybe one way to pull off politics in media is to not have it as the focus or main. I agree. Absolutely agree. Yeah, I agree. You can have politics in there, but don't make it the end all be all. And don't force people to have to respond in the way that you would respond to it. Give them the freedom to agree with it or disagree with it and entertain them in the process, right? I don't agree with every choice that Batman makes or or Superman makes or whatever. Like, I don't always agree with but am I entertained in the process? Can I see why he would make that choice? Does it make me think about the choices I would make? Yeah, awesome. But don't force me and say, and you're bad if you don't do what I do. Like, that's where I'm like, never mind. Maybe just show how they function under it. Yeah, totally. Yeah. The wizard that warned him against said poor life choices. Yeah, that's King Arthur right there. The Tales of King David. Yes, we did talk about King David, the comic, with Marty, with my buddy Marty. The Marty Party. King David would also make great media. Yep. Yeah, it was like a comic story for the time, right? There was an adventure in there. There was a conquering the overwhelming opponent, all that kind of stuff. Thank you. Awesome One was there. What's up? He was there. I did do a review of that David book. Charest Psalms. Go check it out. It's like it's called a Comics Yeah. For those of you who weren't there, Comics Yeah, Comics Nah stream I did where I invited my buddy Marty and I shared with him this book, King David, that was illustrated by a comic artist named Kyle Baker. And it's great. It's a great representation of the King David story, but in comic form. He looked like a black kid, but hey, whatever. I don't imagine David looking straight up modern day black. Yeah, probably not. It's probably darker skin, Middle Eastern there, but you know. I imagine David as Michelangelo's stone statue. Yeah. John says, I voted upon your comment to Rocky's comment. Oh my gosh. I'm refreshing. Where are we here? Rigged. Awesome one. Hilarious. What did you say, Comrade Sammy? I only accept no, definitely not. I'm going to thumbs down that one, Comrade Sammy. Fun fact, Michelangelo's David was actually meant to go on top of some roof rather than wherever it's at. Hence why his hands were sculpted to be huge. No kidding. Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that at all. I actually heard that that David statue, we're going to have to double check that. Because what I had heard was, and I had seen that statue in person, what I had heard was Michelangelo was actually intending for it. Maybe this is part of the story. Maybe it's connected to what you're saying, Emo Trash. But I had heard that Michelangelo knew that it would be viewed from a lower angle. And so he exaggerated the anatomy so that it looked correct from a lower angle, which meant making the hands bigger. I think if I'm remembering that correctly. But yeah, like he was aware that the perspective, like whoever would be the viewer would be looking up at him. And so he had to adjust the anatomy so it looked correct. Otherwise, if he kept it at proportion, it would look incorrect when you're looking at the angle. That's what I heard. But maybe that also has to do with it being on a roof. Emotress says, I'm disappointed in myself for not remembering what roof. I mean, you're in school, right? So you might be learning about this stuff a lot more fresh than I am. I've seen the David statue. He naked. Yes, he is. My brain is telling me the Sistine Chapel, but that doesn't feel right. No, I don't think it was. I don't think that sculpture was supposed to be there. All right, she's looking up her notes. Yep, it's going to bother you now. I saw this speaking of sculpture, I saw this amazing post on social media of like the top 10 sculptures of all time. And there was this one artist that did, what's his name? It wasn't Michelangelo, although the Pietà was, I think, number 1 or number 2 on that list. But this artist that did this, like, I think the name of the sculpture is Modesty. Maybe look it up. But the way that he sculpted it was like this beautiful woman, and she had this very thin, it looked like she had this very thin fabric over her, and you could see through it. It kind of had the see-through sheer feel to it, but it was all sculpted in marble, and it was incredible. And it was like the craft to make it look like fabric that was see-through in marble was like, what? How do you do that? Awesome one. Can't see the comments on the poll. Maybe you're blocked because you're a troublemaker. Rocky Smoker Cuff. It's in Venice. Yep. I was in Venice a long time ago. Beautiful city to go to. For those of you who have not been to Venice, it's magical. I went there thinking, there's a lot of like stereotypes of what Venice is. Oh, it's this water world, not water world, but like, the water, the canals, the like gondolas, like, and I'm the kind of person, like, if everybody's doing it or everybody's talking about it, I'm like, I'm kind of like a go against the grain kind of person. And, but we went to Venice and man, it was magical. And everything about it that people said was true. We took a ride on the gondola. I'm like, I reluctantly did it and it was unbelievable. So, highly recommend if you can get to Venice to go. It's beautiful. Talking about the comments, community tab, we're living in those choices, but at least he came with cool stories about wizards, knights, and dragons. Yes, that's true. I'm sure it was a commentary a lot on maybe common or current politics at the time, the King Arthur stories. But same with like Lord of the Rings, right? It was definitely a commentary on industry and faith that Tolkien was writing. but it wrapped in this and told in such a beautiful world building, escapist fantasy way. Same with C.S. Lewis and like the Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, all that kind of stuff. There's commentary there, but it's not like beating you over the head and ultimate, and like at the bottom line, it's like entertaining you and lifting you up as opposed to forcing you to believe a certain thing. I'm disappointed. It's not in my notes. Testimony why I'm a bad college student. Google it. If I had Google when I was a student, I would have done a lot better. He didn't. I didn't read about that, so I don't know. That's a good question. I wasn't really trying to focus on that when I was there looking at the statue in person. Wait, let me just see. I'm not going to look up Ding-a-ling, but I can't remember if Michelangelo David is... Oh, it's not in Venice. It's in Florence. That's right. I went to Rome, Florence, and Venice. Yeah, it's in Florence. And his hands are huge. Let's see if they say here. Not that Wikipedia is faultless, but... placement? The sculpture was going to be placed under the roof of the Loggia di Alanzi on the Piazza della Signoria. David was installed next to the entrance to the Palazzo della Signoria, replacing Donatello's sculpture. And then, do they talk about this pose? Okay, twist of his body. Oh, contrapposto. Yeah, that's a big thing in art school, learning about that. Contrapposto, where the weight shifting, the twist in the body, like literally means twisted pose. The proportions, here we go. Thank you, Wikipedia. The proportions of the David are atypical of Michelangelo's work as well as of antique models. The figure has an unusually large head and hands. These enlargements may be due to the fact the statue was originally intended to be placed on the cathedral roofline, where the important parts of the sculpture may have been accentuated in order to be visible from below. There we go, Emo Trash. We were both correct. And this is for you, awesome one. The small size of the genitals, though, is in line with his other works and with Renaissance conventions in general. Oh boy, then they go into that, so I won't really read that out. There we go. We were both right, and Awesome One was right to ask about the ding-a-ling. Let's see. Okay, I don't need to know. Let's. It was a trend during the Renaissance. That's how I read. Okay, there we go. You were taught well. There you go. How were you? This was the class I was taking the semester before I came into anyone's streams. Okay, cool. You're paying more attention then before you got distracted with all our streams. Small equals smart. Okay. All right. Maybe that explains a lot. The entire statue is huge, so the 4 foot is to scale. Oh, gosh. I don't know, John. Save me. Wait, let's just throw in some sound effects. Save me. Florence was beautiful. It was really beautiful. I did love Venice, though, because Venice was so different and just unique. But Florence was beautiful. Charest Psalm says, I never knew Narnia had Christian metaphors until maybe a year ago. I was a hamper camper. Yeah, it's amazing, right? So it's like you just enjoy the story. There's these characters, this story arc, this progression, And then when you find out these metaphors are there and influence the story, then it just makes it that much more richer. You're like, oh, wow, like the light bulb turn on. That's how I feel like entertainment should be. It should be illuminating. It should be layered and rich. It shouldn't be just so in your face. Believe this. That's how it is. At least it doesn't appeal to me. Those kind of things don't appeal to me. Supposed to go on the Opera del Duomo. Oh, the Duomo. Gotcha. There you go, Google. Piazza, yeah, I was put there instead on the roof. C.S. Lewis is a well-known Christian. Yes, he was. Incredible writer, too. Wrote so many books. And C.S. Lewis and Tolkien and I want to say there was another guy. They formed the Inklings, and they were a group of writers that got together, hung out, and just like helped each other, supported one another, talked about what they loved, critiqued one another's work. Can you imagine being a contemporary with Tolkien, being C.S. Lewis, and being a contemporary with Tolkien, and like being there in the inception of the work they wrote? I mean, that's incredible. And to influence each other, incredible. There's this book that I bought, which I haven't started reading yet, a book called Bandersnatch, and it's about that group of guys who met together and kind of spurred one another on. So I'm pretty excited to read that. But the book I'm reading right now is The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. And that's been awesome. It's been really good. And he wasn't a contemporary with those guys, but, you know, it's kind of like his own, like a modern day fantasy writer. A lot of metaphors in there too. Florence was there too. I was there too. Tour guide said the real one is in the basement. We saw a replica. Oh, okay. Oh, maybe that's right. I think that sounds familiar. John, don't give away my last name. Wait, what did John say? Is your last name Lewis? Is your last name Narnia? I became aware of that before I found out about Narnia having those themes. When I found out he wrote it, I was shook. That's right. It's awesome. Tag team Michelangelo's David information dissemination. Okay. There you go. Yeah, I hear those authors were buds. They talk. Yeah, they did more than talk. They were very close friends and really helped each other in their works. Ah, there we go. You said C.S. Lewis. It clearly means Comrade Sammy Lewis or Chat Ninja, Comrade Sammy. Yep, exactly. And then the lion, right? The lion sacrificing himself, the lion and the lamb, all those kind of metaphors. Beautiful. Michelangelo originally drew the cherubs on the Sistine Sistine ceiling completely naked, then got pissed when the Pope or priest told him that church wasn't church appropriate, then hired someone else to. I heard a story to paint cloth over them. I heard a story that there was this whole like setup of how he painted. Like they had to build this like rafters and this whole setup for him to like lie on his back for days and days and days and painting. I can't even imagine. The Sistine Chapel was overwhelmingly beautiful and just unbelievable that they could, that somebody could do that. So amazing. Disney is about to ruin Lewis's work. Yep, probably. I got it now. Thank you for explaining. I got it. Scaffolding. Thank you, John. See? Anchor. That's what I mean by anchor. Nashville has a huge statue of people dancing naked. America's fallen. Oh, goodness. All right, cool. Well, geez Louise, that conversation went all over the map, but it's all right. That's how it goes. Hope you enjoyed that. Newbie Charest Psalms. That's how it goes on this stream. We talk a little bit, maybe about 20% about comics, and then 80% of it, if emo trash is in the chat, maybe 85% of it is derailed conversation. But that's what makes it fun. It's really good. At the heart of it, it is my love and joy for comics that fuels this, and me just wanting to share it to whoever will listen. So I hope you enjoyed experiencing that a little bit. Hope you see you around. I do also blame the derailer in chief, Emo Trash. So it's 1:43 now my time. I was thinking of stopping. I had to stop at 1:30, but I will stop at 1:45. So let me just wrap up here. Mark's music obsession, random comment to show participation. It's all good, man. I'm glad you're still here. We've been stripping in media since the Middle Ages. There's never going back from there. No, the human form is a beautiful, beautiful thing. We shouldn't shy away from it, but I think Americans in general are pretty prudish about the human naked form. So there's that, but it's okay. We appreciate it in comics and in art forms, and it's beautiful. And it was definitely an adjustment as an art student of like drawing nude models. You're just like, what? And I don't know if I've ever told this story before. We had a model at our school. Her name was Pearl. Rest in peace. I know she's passed away by now, but when I was there, which was over 25 years ago, Pearl had to have been 80 plus, and she would model in the nude, and we used to joke around that it was our way of learning how to draw texture. So yeah, that was and she would like hold these poses. They'd have to be like hour poses or whatever, and Pearl would like fall asleep and just kind of like slump into a position, and then the teacher would have to wake her up or whatever. She was a trip. And Pearl could like lift her leg in it was it was interesting. But it taught you a lot about, the human form. Stuff you didn't want to know, but yeah, it taught you. Katie, hey, and bye. Yes, I got to get going. I actually have to go run a couple errands, and I also want to try and make it to the comic shop before I run those errands. So I got to go, but I might stream again later. So stay tuned. I give it 50% chance. But I might. So the Brit is here. We got a history lesson from Emo Trash. That's right. You are a history buff. I was streaming. I ended, and it just got to the end of the stream. I'm glad. Wow, you stream too, Katie? Cool. I'll have to check that out. What do you stream about? My art prof told us to view the nude models as I mean, actually, after a while, you kind of do. They just become a still life object. You get over the like, as a young man or a young person there, you're just like, you get all like goofy about it. But then after a while, you're just like, it's just a model, and just examining the form. And the human body is amazing. It's an amazing thing to study and draw. So it's very complicated. All right. I think that's come on, Rocky, at least 75%. Yeah. No, Emo Trash, 100%. Sometimes. You guys are awesome. Okay, I gotta get going. Nobody knows what. Oh, Katie, do you have a British accent? That's another accent I love. All right, I'm gonna have to try and find your stream because I do love that accent. All right, cool. Anyway, thanks everybody who came and hung out and talked about the things I unboxed. I'm gonna go run and try and make it to the comic book shop, run my errand, pick up my kid, and hopefully get back here. And again, if I can stream, I will. If I don't hold it against me. But we'll give it a go, right? So thank you all that were here. Mark's Music Obsession was first. The Chat Ninja, Comrade Sammy. Emo Trash, John, Awesome One, Mr. Monkey Boy. 1969, Mark's Music Obsession, already said. Katie, thanks for coming in here at the end. Charest Psalms, it was great having you here. Great conversation. I hope to see you again soon. Somebody at the beginning, who was it? Deshaun Long. I don't know who Deshaun Long is. I don't know if he's still around. He was the one asking about rainbow babies. So who knows? Unhinged, pop in here too. The awesome Unhinged. Check out his YouTube channel. I'll try and get his other book out to another comic book store if I can make it there today. But see you guys later. Thanks for coming by. And take it easy. Have a great Wednesday. Read more comics. There's lots of great stuff out there coming out this week. and in general. But as more importantly, stay cool. See you again around. I don't know. Like and subscribe. How about that? And comment. Comment on Comrade Sammy's poll. Let's get her to start streaming. All right, cool. I'll catch you guys later. Take care.